I don't know, but like people always ask me about money and exactly what is money, and you have to first consider the characteristics of money. Characteristics of money. Basically, it's something that is durable. It is something that functions as a medium of exchange. It is something that has a store of wealth. But really, money today has lost some of those characteristics. Due to inflation and the cheapening of money through quantitative easing or massive printing of money, you can say that, well, there goes the store of wealth. Because you can't store wealth in cash, since it's depreciating constantly over a period of time. Considering that the dollar has lost 97% of its value in the past 40 years, it's fair to say that it has lost its store of value. Durability, well, a lot of countries like Canada are starting to make plastic money to increase its durability, because paper is not as durable, doesn't have a lifespan that is equal to that of a coin. And as you can see, there's a lot of coins that have been out of circulation because the metal content has exceeded the face value of the coin. So I think it becomes really interesting at that point. But it is really interesting. It's really interesting because when it comes down to it, basically, you have to ask yourself, like, what is money? It's a medium of exchange, and at this point, it can only function as a medium of exchange. It can no longer function as a store of wealth because inflation is no more than a transfer of wealth. And if there's a transfer of wealth from the bottom to the top, and the middle to the top, then there's no store of wealth. The concept of store of wealth has exited the arena. So basically what you have is the medium of exchange. That's basically the only thing it has going for itself. And paper money at this point can only function as a medium of exchange, which means that with this paper money I can buy this item, that item, and so forth. If you trade commodities, and you say, well, under a barter system, okay, I'll trade my wheat for your corn, or I'll trade my fish for your flour, or your beef for your chicken, or your vegetables or whatever. That's a medium of exchange, but there's also a use. Because if no one wants your fish, you can always eat your own fish. You can always eat your own wheat, your own corn, your own soy. It doesn't matter. If you have an excess of something, you can still use it because it has use. With money, you have to go back to Weimar Germany when they were using the mark, the paper money, to heat their homes. They were just burning it, and because the medium of exchange went out the window, so its only use was basically to supply heat. They were burning the thing. But with paper money, there's no use, because if no one wants to accept it as a medium of exchange because they lose confidence in that currency, then money itself has no use. You cannot eat it. You cannot cook with it. You cannot cultivate it. You can't plant it. At least if I have like organic seeds, and the person that has fish doesn't want to trade that day because he already has organic seeds left over from a previous deal or transaction or agreement under a barter system, I can still use it, at the end of the day, to plant my own stuff and increase production on my land. But money itself has no use at this point, and the only thing it has going for itself is the fact that it's still used as a medium of exchange, and the fact that there's still confidence left. When you look at values, these currencies have no actual value, no absolute value. Their value is in their confidence. As long as people have confidence in these currencies like the dollar, the euro, the yen, the pound, the yuan. As long as they have confidence, it will continue to be used as a medium of exchange, despite the fact that the store of wealth and the store of value, the store of wealth is just gone. Because let's face it, they can lie about inflation all they want, but how much is tuition now compared to 10 years ago? How much is gas now than 10 years ago? How much is milk now compared to 10 years ago? How much does a peach tree cost today as opposed to 10 years ago? I remember in the 90s, a kilo of gold was like 10 grand, $10,000. Now you're looking at $52,000. So I don't know. If your home is heated by oil, or just ask anyone that has a home heated by oil, and they have to pay for the oil through a contractor. Most contractors will not deliver less than $800 worth of oil. Some might do 600, but you're going to get less oil for that amount of money today than you did back 5-10 years ago. So I don't understand these people that are talking about, oh, there's no inflation. There's no inflation. The dollar index. Well, the dollar index is just a comparison between the dollar and other worthless currencies. And because the yen is on a downward spiral, they can say, oh, the dollar index is looking better. Well, that's because the yen is, on a downhill. It's hitting rock bottom and it's going even further. So to say that, oh, well, the dollar index is looking good now, well, really, it's looking good because something else is looking bad in comparison. But I just don't think that, that's like saying, well, the college that I went to is pretty good compared to the worst. It's like South Carolina. A few years back, they were bragging about how well or how much their public schools had improved. They were really thriving on, we're the most improved, we have the most improved school districts in the nation. Well, if you're starting from rock bottom, you can only improve. You can't get any worse if you're like in last or second to last or whatever, So that's basically the way I view the dollar index. The way I view the dollar index is, hey, it only looks good because something else looks worse. Basically, that's how I look at the dollar index. I mean, no offense to those that are, doing okay in the paper market. I mean, that's just, enjoy it while it lasts. But I mean, let's be serious here. Last time the Dow Jones was over 14,000 points, we all saw the bursting of the housing bubble. I mean, at one point the Nikkei was almost at 40,000 points, and today it's below 12,000. So, and I remember it wasn't that long ago when it was at 7,000. So, as great as things might seem, going up, I mean, as fast as they went up, they can go down even faster. I mean, look at buildings. It took 11 years for the World Trade Center to finish construction. Look how fast that thing went down. It took 11 years to build those things. My grandfather was one of the welders that welded the World Trade Center. And here it is. It took 11 years to make those towers. 11 years. And we all saw those towers crumble down in seconds at free fall speed. So, don't get excited and say we are done with a lost decade. We don't know how long this thing will be. I mean, You got people like Max Kaiser saying that April will be the beginning of the worst. So, if you're wondering, this is grounded chicken breast that was actually, grounded like right in front of me, and it's organic, and we have the onions and the scallion, and we have a mix of organic extra virgin olive oil mixed with sesame oil. So basically, this is what I'm gonna have for lunch, and see you next time.